Anger boiling over in Portland. Police are now searching for a gunman after one person was shot during an anti-Trump protest.
Well, this is outrage over Donald Trump presidency intensifies in cities across the country. Let's start in Atlanta. This is last night, protesters lighting fire to the American flag outside the state capitol.
And then let's go to Miami here together. Demonstrators had this message for the new president-elect.
Trump supporters, though, have a different message. Give the president-elect a chance. Well, CNN's Polo Sandoval is with us now with more on the protests sparked by Trump's election. And Polo, we understand there was also a shooting in Portland.
Right, Victor. We have seen these demonstrations and these protesters pour into the streets of major American cities. We have seen the numbers grow. As you mentioned, Victor, some of them have even grown in intensity as well. A third night of nationwide protests as thousands marched down streets and interstates to vent their anger about the election of Donald Trump. Most were peaceful, but there was some violence.
Flashbang was thrown at the police.
In Portland, police used flashbang grenades to disperse the crowds after they say burning objects were thrown at officers. And this morning, Portland police are investigating a shooting on a bridge where protesters had gathered. The shooting happened after an apparent confrontation. The unidentified man was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect fled the area. Los Angeles police arrested protesters in the downtown area but have not provided details on numbers or charges. In Atlanta, an American flag was burned near the Georgia State Capitol building. Police reported no arrests.
My body, my choice.
And in Miami, protesters walked along Interstate 95, forcing 4 lanes of traffic to come to a standstill.
Reject the president-elect.
And angry crowds gathered once again outside the 58-story Trump Tower, the president-elect's home in New York. There have been nightly protests since Trump's election, and more demonstrations are expected through the weekend.
Donald Trump, go away!
And of course, this morning, police across the country now getting ready, as we mentioned, for another day of protests. In fact, police in Los Angeles now getting ready to see a huge march in MacArthur Park. That is one of the largest Latino communities in Los Angeles, Victor.
All right, Polo Sandoval, thanks so much.
All of this, of course, happening as Donald Trump supporters are waiting for the new president-elect to turn promises into policy here. President-elect Trump now appearing to be open to compromise on one of his signature rallying cries, the repeal of Obamacare. CNN's Chris Freites has been watching this. He's in New York outside Trump Tower right now. So, Chris, talk to us about what we heard from Trump overnight.
Yeah, Christy, well, Donald Trump making some policy news yesterday, telling the Wall Street Journal that he favors keeping some key parts of Obamacare. He said after he met with President Obama earlier in the week, he came away wanting to allow people with pre-existing conditions to continue to get coverage. And he also says he'd like to see children be able to continue getting coverage well into adulthood under their parents' plans. And in fact, he said that when he does repeal and replace most of Obamacare, which he says he still wants to do, people won't lose their coverage. Here's how he said he's going to do it.
We're going to do it simultaneously. It'll be just fine. That's what I do. I do a good job. You know, I mean, I know how to do this stuff. We're going to repeal it and replace it. And we're not going to have like a 2-day period, and we're not going to have a 2-year period where there's nothing. It will be repealed and replaced, and we'll know. And it'll be great health care for much less money.
So Donald Trump sounding a lot less strident than he did, taking a harder line throughout this campaign season. Maybe, trying to sow the ground a little bit for some compromise down the road here, guys.
All righty. Hey, Chris Freites, we appreciate it so much. Thank you, sir.